Hello, and in this video I just want to go through some of the quick commands you can use in Linux and on Bash. In this video I'll be using Windows subsystem for Linux. If you're on Ubuntu, this is going to be the terminal, but it's going to be the same commands and everything, since this is actually Ubuntu running under the hood in Windows. So yeah, first of all, this little squiggly line we have here, this is the directory you're in Linux and on macOS. This squiggly line denotes that you're in your home directory. So if we do change directory, cd, then the squiggly line, like so, we're going to end up back here. If we want to create a new directory, we can enter mkdir, like so, and then the name of the directory, like so. And what if we want to make another one? Well, let's do that real quick. Alright, so now we have two directories, but how do we list them? The terminal works in many ways like the Explorer or the Finder on Mac, or yeah. So what you can do here to list the directories that, or in any case the files that are in here, we can say ls. So, and then say that we have two directories. If you want more information about these directories, we can say ls-play, like so. And this is going to give us a bit more information. It's also going to show hidden folders on, in this case, all the directories that has a dot in front of it are usually hidden in Linux and Mac. And that's what we're seeing right here, and which is also the reason why it wasn't showing it before. But as you can see, they're actually here right now. We can also see the different permissions. All of the ones that have a D in front of it means that it's a directory. The other ones are files. Yeah. So at this point, we can, of course, change directory into the current one, or the directory we just created. So we press cd and then directory. But instead of writing everything out, because that gets tedious really quick, at least I think so, we can just press tab. And at this point, it's going to complain because it's not sure if we want directory 1 or 2. So if we press twice, it's going to give us the options like I just did there, and we can say I want directory 1, like so, and then enter. And we're within this directory, and that's also going to be denoted right here. And from in here, we can then create another directory. We can also create a file. On Linux, we have the option to use touch, which just creates an empty file. And if we do ls again, we'll see that this text file has been created. And then you can, of course, just edit this in whatever program you're using. It's just worth noting that there's a one-to-one kind of ratio, or whatever you want to call it, between your Explorer/Finder and the the terminal. So some commands has to be used with other some commands has to be used when in regards to the current directory. So for example, if you're using Docker, in this case, it's going to complain that there's no Docker compose file, and it's complaining that we don't have this YAML file shown right here. So what we can do is we can create it. And then we of course have to fill it out, but that's not in the scope of this video. We can run Docker again. It's going to complain because it's not going to understand this file, like it's saying right here. But this is how you do it. The thing is, and the thing you have to pay attention to, is that we're running Docker Compose, and it's looking for the Docker Compose.yaml file within this directory. So if you're in another directory, it's another Docker Compose file it's going to look for. So you can't run Docker Compose from anywhere, or at least not if you want to boot up a specific YAML file or the containers from that file. Some commands are global. Telnet can be run from anywhere. Doesn't really matter. We can exit out of that by pressing Control C. This goes for Docker as well. When you run Docker Compose up, it's going to consume the terminal, and you can't really do anything because it's just going to run it. However, if you press Control C, it's going to exit out of it and gracefully shut down your container, or containers, I should say, which is really useful. There are also other options. Another thing is the man command, The man command stands for manual, and it just allows us to get information about a specific command in Linux. So if I do man telnet, we're gonna get a complete listing of what is happening and what different arguments telnet takes. I'm gonna press Q now to exit, like so, and that's basically it. Another thing that's worth noting is that if you're using Windows subsystem for Linux, this home directory that we're in right now is not going to be the same as your home directory in Windows. But what you can do is that you can cd into the mount directory, because WSL is going to mount the C drive, and then we have access to everything from in here, like so. And now we're within the Windows directory instead. We just have to go through the mount. With that said, if you want to skip all of this, you can just right click or shift and hold down shift, right click on the directory, and it'll also say open Linux shell here in Windows. That's gonna do the same. So we can see we're now within this directory I have up and running over here. We're gonna do ls again, and we'll have all the files that are within this directory. And this allows us to, of course, to run docker compose up. There we go. And like I said before, Control C to close it.